Hi, this is Forrest for Faulty Lid. Today, we're going to talk about why Roadhog is defining the Season 3 meta and what can be done about it. If you're unfamiliar with what Season 3's meta looks like, you can check out my pro breakdown on the topic here. Okay, so this season has seen Roadhog's usage rate in the pro scene climb from 39% to 67%. What happened? It's not like he was buffed, right? Well, he sort of was actually. The Somber patch at the end of Season 2 brought with it a ton of hero balance changes. These changes conspired to create the perfect meta for Roadhog to dominate in, even though none of those changes were to Roadhog himself. The first changes we're going to go over are to Soldier 76 and D.va. The buffs these two heroes received brought them from fringe picks to the forefront of the meta. Even outside the pro scene in ranked competitive, they're practically in every match. This is important because what these two heroes can do, along with Roadhog, is just decimate a Reinhardt shield. Poke battles often become which team can break the other team's shield first. Roadhog is a great pick in this environment because not only can he help your team win the barrier battle, but winning it also gives him more opportunities for hooks. In general, this season's meta sees less Reinhardt shield uptime. That means that Roadhog has more chances to land hooks than ever. And more chances means you can get more value out of him than ever. D.va's addition to the meta does even more for Roadhog. D.va is often being chosen in the off-tank spot that Zarya occupied last season. In the pro scene, Zarya saw a 64% usage rate at the end of Season 2, and this season she's down to a 32% usage rate. This affects Roadhog because Zarya is the best way to save a teammate once they're hooked. She can rob the enemy Roadhog of getting value out of his most powerful ability in his kit. In this season, more D.va equals less Zarya, and less Zarya bubbles means even more opportunities for Roadhog to land successful hooks that result in kills. As if that wasn't enough, D.va's rise has also helped remove Reaper from the meta. He's gone from a 19% pick rate in the pro scene to a 5% pick rate. Now, part of Reaper's demise is due to Ana's nano boost losing its speed buff, but additionally, it's because D.va can render Reaper ineffective. D.va's 400 armor makes it difficult for Reaper to be lethal against her. On top of that, D.va's defense matrix can negate both Reaper's Death Blossom and his standard attacks. She can also dislodge Reaper from high ground, chase him when he's escaping in Wraith form, and just consistently win a 1v1 against him. This means Reaper has much less opportunity to get kills in this meta, which results in him being picked less. After all, why would you pick Reaper to kill tanks when he can't even kill one of the enemy's tanks? This affects Roadhog because Reaper was his best counter. Now that you can't get as much value out of Reaper as before, he's picked less and Roadhogs have less stopping them. Not to mention, why pick Reaper when Roadhog can do his job much more effectively? Roadhog has more health and can deal with any tank including D.va. He can wait for a moment where Reinhardt's shield is down and then hook that Reinhardt. Roadhog's ability to consistently impact play with his hooks is simply too powerful to ignore. Reaper can still be used successfully, but Roadhog and his hook are a superior option in the current state of the game. It's also important to note that a change was made recently that made Roadhog pull Reaper closer to him when he's hooked. This means Roadhog can now insta-kill Reaper when he's at full health. In the past, Reaper would survive a hook and be able to Wraith form away. Again, this change makes Reaper a less effective pick, which in turn makes Roadhog more difficult to counter. The other big change that has made Roadhog an even better pick than last season is the universal ultimate nerf. Since the Somber patch, ultimates take 25% longer to build for every hero. This is a change that does not affect every hero equally. Heroes that were dependent on their ultimate for their value got a relative nerf, while heroes more dependent on their standard kit received a relative buff. For example, Genji relies on his Dragon Blade to get a lot of his value as a hero. Yes, his standard abilities can do DPS and get kills, but his Dragon Blade is where a lot of his high impact potential lies. On the other hand, Roadhog really doesn't care all that much about his ultimate. If you took Whole Hog away tomorrow, the world would keep turning and hooks would keep hooking. Now if you took away Dragon Blade, how many people would keep playing Genji? Some would, sure, but people would move on to better options. In a meta where ultimates come up less, fights are won and lost by standard abilities more than ever. Heroes that were designed to have great standard abilities balanced out by having mediocre ultimates are going to thrive in that type of environment. To recap, Roadhog's rise has been a result of balancing changes that all seem to favor his abilities. Less counters, more opportunities, and less ultimates have created a meta where Roadhog went from being a good pick to an excellent one. Fundamentally, the problem with Roadhog comes down to him being a tank that can insta-kill a squishy and counter all of the other tanks. He's the only tank who also fits the profile of a DPS hero. He is the reason that triple tank comps can be so effective. Some people blame Ana and her incredible burst healing for triple tank's viability. While I think there is something to that, I don't think triple tank comps could do enough damage if Roadhog didn't exist. He can do the damage output of a DPS hero while having the health pool of a tank. That gives no penalty to a team that chooses a third tank instead of a second DPS. There should be an opportunity cost of reducing your team's damage output in exchange for a higher health pool. But right now, the trade-off does not exist. In my opinion, Roadhog is borderline broken right now. Too many aspects of the meta are working to his advantage, and I'm not entirely sure how you fix it. I do not envy Blizzard's job of balancing this game. I think what could help is reducing the hitbox size of Roadhog's hook. Right now, it's basically the size of a refrigerator door, and it practically works like a hit-scan weapon. Making Roadhog's hook more of a skill shot can potentially make his hero less overpowered. Another potential solution could be to increase his hook's cooldown. That's a difficult balancing act. When Roadhog's hook is down, he's a lot less effective. Making the cooldown too long could just nerf him out of relevancy altogether. I don't know if these answers are the solution, but I do know something needs to be done. Roadhog's place in the meta as the counter to just about everything is too much. I'd love to hear any solution you guys have in the comments section below. Hopefully Blizzard learns from Roadhog and doesn't make tanks that can replace DPS heroes in the future. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Follow us on Twitter @FaultyLidGaming. This has been Forrest with Faulty Lid, and I'll see you next time.